If you have an anxious animal, we have lots to get to tonight.
A different flock of birds are popping up around Bakersfield. The electric scooters appeared seemingly overnight downtown, and city officials say they weren't notified about it. The Now's Tori Cooper spoke to riders and CHP to find out everything you need to know before your ride. Tori?
Jessica, many people took to the flock of birds that just landed in Bakersfield today, but many people also still didn't know too much about the rules of the road and riding the scooters. So I spoke to CHP officials to ensure everyone at home is riding safely and citation free. Hundreds of bird motorized scooters showed up in downtown Bakersfield overnight.
I saw that they put the bird scooters out downtown, and I just thought I'd take one for a ride. I've done it in other cities, and it's pretty fun.
The fleet of motorized scooters has hit hundreds of communities throughout the U.S. since launching in September of last year. The company is celebrating a total of 10 million rides just 3 months ago. The city manager of Bakersfield, however, said the company failed to consult the city before bringing the scooters to Bakersfield, and now the city has to look into safety regulations and liability issues. But Bakersfield residents like Eric Epton seem to be welcoming the new fleet.
And it's a fun way to get around downtown for short trips.
Although the scooters may be exciting and fun for new users, California Highway Patrol officials say riders like Eric need to be aware of the laws they may be breaking by riding birds on the streets or on the sidewalks.
Now, there's a long list of rules and regulations that pertain to motorized scooters. First and foremost, you have to have a Class C driver's license to ride one. You also have to utilize a bicycle helmet. It doesn't matter the age requirement. You have to have a helmet in order to ride one.
Even though you must be 18 or over and have a helmet on to ride the bird in the bike lane on the street, CHP says parking lots are private property and helmets are not required in lot areas. And starting January 1st, no helmets will be required on the birds following Governor Jerry Brown's signature on Assembly Bill 2989 that states helmets will no longer be required by law while riding electric scooters like Bird. But until then, riders like Epton say they're taking their chances.
I think the police probably aren't going to chase me for riding a scooter.
Before you can ride the Bird, you must download the Bird app on your phone, scan your valid driver's license in the app, and input your debit or credit card information. You must also sign this disclaimer certifying your age and accept full responsibility for the bird along with this lengthy terms and conditions statement. The birds are $1 to start plus 15 cents per minute after that.
It was a little bit different than what I've seen in other cities. These were all cable locked to a signpost, so there was an extra step. I just scanned the code with my phone, and then it gave me the code to unlock the cable lock. And after that, it was the same. Take it and ride away.
And after you're done, you just log back into the app.
I'm going to go ahead and end my ride and lock the scooter up.
According to Bird scooter officials, a group of what they call local chargers showed up and dropped all of the scooters off in downtown Bakersfield. They are paid to monitor the working condition of each bird and its location so that they are ready to go for riders at all times. Chargers are also paid to charge the birds and return them to the streets. And Epton says he enjoys the convenience as a rider, but not when other riders show up.
Drawbacks: when you come out of wherever you were and your scooter's gone, and you don't have a way to get to your next place.
The city of Bakersfield also shared this statement tonight, saying in part that although the birds provide good intentions, safety concerns are the city's first priority, and they will be working with Bird to discuss operations moving forward. Now, as of right now, the scooters around town don't come with helmets, but you can request one through the app. I also reached out to the county to find out what the plan is for the scooters and have not heard back, but you can head to our website, turn23.com, for a full list of details there. For the Now, I'm Tori Cooper for 23 ABC News.
All right, Tori, thanks. Well, millions of dollars in funding has been approved for hundreds of transportation and local projects. Caltrans announced today that more than $600 million in funding for transportation projects, which includes $80 million from the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017. More than 200 transportation projects will improve and maintain California's current transportation system. One of the local projects being funded is Highway 184 near Lamont, which will receive over $2 million. They're looking to reduce congestion and improve freight transportation. Well, in other news, Kern County Animal Services needs your help to keep some furry friends warm during these cold months. KCAS posted this photo earlier today on Facebook. They were asking for help to fill up empty blanket sheds. They're in need of donated towels and blankets for the pet shelter. So if you'd like to donate, you can drop them off at a shelter on Fruitvale Avenue tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. The Kern County Sheriff's Office is getting in the giving spirit as they gear up to host its own Shop with a Cop event. The Sheriff's Office annual Shop with a Cop event is set for tomorrow around 8 o'clock in the morning. Around 50 deputies will take a local child to shop at the Walmart on Rosedale Highway. KCSO says it will provide a fun-filled day for a number of children with identified needs in Kern County. It's not open to the public, but the families of KCSO personnel are invited to enjoy the experience. The California Highway Patrol is usually looking to keep us safe on the roads, but earlier today, it was all about giving back to children in need. Local CHP hosted the 9th annual Chips for Kids toy drive to make the holidays brighter for disadvantaged children. People had the chance to bring a new unwrapped toy during the drop-off event in downtown Bakersfield today. Toys collected benefit infants, kids, and teens. For CHP, it's all about being there for families in need.
We've had so many requests from a lot of people in town. Maybe they've lost a job or they've had a death in the family and now they're not able to purchase toys for their kids. And so the people that donate just know that these toys are going to a good cause.
If you missed today's event, you can still donate toys at the CHP office, Motor City, United Way, and even here at our 23 ABC station. The drive continues until December 17th.
An arrest starts the Now News feed as police arrested an 18-year-old today in the murder of a sales rep inside a model home where he was working. This happened near Annapolis, Maryland this week. An officer finding Stephen Wilson dead yesterday. Police say the suspect shot and killed him during a robbery. California teacher under arrest after an absolute meltdown inside of a classroom. This is Margaret Geisinger. She actually started cutting one of her students' hair by singing the wrong lyrics to the national anthem, just belting them out in the classroom, then chased students around with scissors. Still not clear exactly what led up to this incident. Well, Massachusetts church is definitely raising some eyebrows with this nativity display because it put baby Jesus in a cage. This church is outside Boston and says that is a statement on America's immigration policies. But one place you can always count on for having great prices is your favorite fast food chain. But that seems to be changing, and the Now's Andy Taylor is telling us why.
From the value meal to the dollar menu, fast food joints know the way to our heart. Tasty, fast, and cheap. But you may have noticed over the past decade, prices have slowly gone up. Restaurant Menu Trends researcher Data Essential found median fast food hamburger prices have jumped 54%. Remember when you could go to McDonald's with $5 expecting to get change back? Well, if you order the double quarter pounder with cheese meal deal, it'll cost you nearly $7. And at Burger King, the ultimate bacon cheeseburger meal is almost $9. So why is this happening? Well, if you're a fan of places like Chipotle and Five Guys, that's why. A burger and fries at Five Guys will cost you around $10. Fast casual restaurants like Five Guys have become so popular. Fast food joints like Burger King and McDonald's realized you are willing to pay a few bucks more for your food. Also, fast food workers are finally getting paid a bit more. So to offset that cost, they are charging you more. But despite the rise in prices, they still offer a quick meal and serve up great deals throughout the year, like 10 chicken McNuggets for $1. For the Now, I'm Andy Taylor.
All right, Andy, thank you. And next in our lineup, we were talking about a shortage of school nurses, what kind of effect this is having on some students. And you might be surprised at just how big a problem this really is. You're watching the Now. If you're looking to make a little extra cash over the next few weeks, all you need to do is find a busy family. Annie Taylor back with how much you could actually make.
Chris, Kero.com surveyed families that say they need sitters more than ever now to finish up holiday shopping so they can go to holiday parties and even get their gifts wrapped. But parents are also looking now to hire for New Year's Eve, but it goes beyond just babysitting. Even more families say they want to hire a housekeeper over the holidays, which who couldn't get used to that one right there? But it could likely turn into a regular gig. So they also need someone to help run errands, grocery shop, and decorate. If they happen to have a dog and are traveling over the holidays, they might need a pet sitter or someone to keep an eye on the house. It may seem like basic stuff, but because it's the holidays and some of these jobs might be last minute, they're actually willing to pay a little bit more. So take a look. You could earn on average almost $16 an hour for babysitting. And then helping care for an elderly family member, housekeeping, and pet sitting, all around $17 an hour. So how do you get these gigs? Well, you can check out Kero.com, even Facebook Marketplace, and also word of mouth through work and schools are also a good way to find out who's hiring and what jobs are out there.
Good stuff, Annie. Thank you. And a pretty startling number here. 12% of what we make goes to healthcare alone. Between insurance premiums and deductibles, the average household is spending about $7,200 a year. It's almost the same amount that we spend on food. This is according to new data from the Commonwealth Fund. Now, the increases in premiums from 2016 to 2017 were more dramatic than we've seen over the last couple of years. In 7 states and D.C., a family spending $20,000 a year or more on insurance. Given that, there are some pretty basic things you need to do to keep the costs down. First off, just understanding what your plan covers and doesn't. That way, you can make sure you're not paying out of pocket too much for things like medication. Also, make sure that you're going to in-network doctors versus out-of-network ones when you can. Out-of-network will have you spending more in the long run. Also, take advantage of all those wellness incentives that give you discounts on premiums or money in your health spending account.
All right, well, back here at home, we're going to take a live look at downtown Bakersfield. Right now is First Friday happening in downtown Bakersfield, and that's where we find 23 ABC's Allison Gargaro with a look at our forecast.
It is First Friday and temperatures are a little chilly this evening. If you are planning on coming out, the event is until 9 p.m. tonight, but temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s. But today we had temperatures that were below seasonal, a high of 53 degrees here in Bakersfield. Normal for this time of year is actually 58. But the storm that we were tracking has pushed well off to the east, leaving us with just cloudy conditions as well as calm winds. But unfortunately, those are great conditions for fog. So we are tracking the chance to see some nighttime as well as early morning fog in the valley. So just something to keep in mind. Make sure that you are driving slow and using your headlights if you do see any of that fog. But we are tracking those wind speeds that will be very calm as we head into the later portion of the weekend. Cloudy conditions will continue, but air quality, unfortunately, because we don't have those strong winds, will be back to the moderate range tomorrow with an AQI of 70, and there is no burning unless with a registered device. Now, as for temperatures, well, we're jumping up to 52 degrees on Sunday and then hanging out in those upper 50s, low 60s through the weekend, but does look like the first chance that we could be seeing a storm is actually going to be starting on next Saturday. Then now Bakersfield will be right back. 23 ABC and I are releasing a cookbook, Recipes to the Rescue, just in time for the holiday season. There is a recipe for everyone in this cookbook, from local favorites like Derek and David Carr, Congressman Kevin McCarthy, and all the anchors at 23 ABC. They are sharing their favorite recipes. You can find a link to pre-order the cookbook on our website, turnto23.com, and we'd love for you to attend our cookbook launch party on December 10th at the Mission. Again, you can find all that information on turnto23.com.
I have some new information here in the news feed about generic EpiPens. A new generic option could be sold in the U.S. early next year. Drug maker Sandoz is going to charge $250 for 2 of them. That's without insurance. It is $50 less than other generics. There's been a brand name shortage recently. More job opportunities if you work in healthcare, manufacturing, transportation, warehousing. The new jobs report says the country gained 155,000 jobs last month, but it did keep the unemployment rate the same, 3.7%. Well, this year's Grammys, all about women. 5 of the 8 nominees for Album of the Year, women. Those nominations announced today, and we find out the winners in February. Well, it's no secret there has been a nationwide shortage of nurses. Parents are starting to feel the effects of this, and now's Chris Welch taking a look at the impact.
Okay, here goes nothing. I am Mason. It's cool. I use them for my hunter ships, and I have lots of toys.
Mason Rodriguez is a smart, gregarious 6-year-old.
I know.
Do you like school?
I like school.
He also likes spinning and not standing in one place for too long. But when he comes home from school, there's one question his mom, Laurel Henson, always asks.
Did you have daydreams today?
No, I have 0 daydreams today.
Mason has epilepsy, and daydreams are the code word the two have come up with to describe his seizures, which Laurel says are getting worse.
He has them every couple days.
But there is no nurse dedicated to Mason's school, and the medication he's been given for when he has a serious seizure is not something a teacher can administer.
The issue is that they have no one on staff at the school, obviously no nurse, to give the medication because it has to be done rectally and they have to be certified.
She says the schools told her that in an emergency they'd call 911, but Laurel worries they wouldn't get there fast enough.
For the district rep to sit there and say, well, we're not a Band-Aid service, it's like, this is not a Band-Aid issue. Like, this is my kid's life.
A $26 million plan put forward and passed by the Board of Education just this week aims to add more nurses to the district schools, including Mason's right here. But not all parents see this as the solution because the nurses would be temporary.
People from temp agencies have come in untrained, unreliable.
Wendy Catton is with Raise Your Hand, an education advocacy group of parents, and she says there are only 100 certified nurses, and Chicago has over 500 schools. Some parents have now left their jobs to be at school with special needs kids. Chicago Public Schools denied our request for an interview, but sent us a statement saying in part that they're also hiring 20 board-employed nurses and that they're working to ensure every student receives the support and services they need. Laurel Henson thinks temporary nurses could definitely help Mason, but says it isn't a long-term fix.
Somebody's off, somebody's on, somebody's off, somebody's on. And then it becomes a dialogue of, all right, who's there today and who do I need to explain this to?
Reporting for The Now in Chicago.
Welcome to my work.
I'm Chris Welch.
Thanks for having me. All right, Chris, thank you. And even in his final days, President George H.W. Bush kept up his advocacy work. Now, this is one of the last things he ever signed. You can see it's dated the day before his death. It's a certificate and a letter honoring a charity that helps senior veterans. Diane Height, president of Forever Young Senior Veterans, got the award after President Bush passed and talked to us today about what it means to her.
I have a love for him because he was a World War II veteran and an aviator. And, these guys have my heart. I wish I could have actually sat down and spent some time with him.
President Bush started the Daily Point of Light Award 20 years ago. Heights Charity takes our most senior veterans on trips to visit war monuments and battlefields all over the world. All right, next to our lineup here, we're taking a look at the pros and the cons of using medicine to calm your dog. If you're an owner of an anxious animal, you can definitely relate to this one. You're watching The Now. This week, the FDA approved a new drug for dogs afraid of loud noises. And Now's Corey Rangel has how it may help and what else you need to consider.
The Kero shaking.
For dog owners, it can be a helpless feeling to see their pet panic.
Okay, Charlie.
These pets left paralyzed by the sound of fireworks.
We have all the way from like very mild to very severe cases where dogs are going through windows and, escaping out of crates during noise events.
Amy Pike specializes in animal behavior and is excited about a new drug just approved by the FDA to help dogs who get stressed out by loud noises. The prescription drug is called Pexion, and it's given to dogs 2 days before an expected loud event like the 4th of July and during the event. In a study, 66% of owners who gave their dog the pill say they saw good or excellent results.
I think it definitely has the potential to make a huge impact for some of these noise-phobic dogs.
But there are downsides. The most common side effects are difficulty standing or walking, increased appetite, and low energy. Pexion is part of a growing list of medications approved by the FDA to treat pets.
Everything that I've seen has been great and totally adding to the quality of life for these animals that I'm working with. It's really, and I'm relieved to see that people are understanding the importance of medication in the behavior modification process. Good boy.
Juliana Willems is a dog trainer.
Let's go.
She says to see the best results with Pexion, dog owners should use the medication in combination with behavior training, which could help everyone at home.
Humans have such a hard time with it, and a lot of time I do just as much human counseling as I do dog training, and so once the dog is behaving better, it improves the family, feels better. Like you said, it's better for everybody.
For the Now, I'm Corey Rangel.
Corey, thank you. And shapewear is popular, but it can come with some consequences. Coming up Monday here on The Now, the actual dangers you may not realize could come along with those form-fitting undergarments.
Looking forward to that. That's going to do it for us here on The Now. We'll see you back here tonight for 23 ABC News at 11.